Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Greetings to my colleagues, greetings to sons and daughters of St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, I ask that you permit me to just address a couple of community issues before I delve into the substantive estimates that we are here to debate this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate that as I rise to speak today, I have to report of another violent incident in my community. Only 2 weeks ago, I was in this very chamber reporting of a death by violence of a gentleman from Industrie Choiseul. And today, Mr. Speaker, I'm also reporting of the violent death of a Mr. Ken Ishmael, also of Industrie Choiseul, whose life was taken away quite innocently, Mr. Speaker, because he never saw it coming. Mr. Speaker, you know, our community, that happened last week, Friday. Mr. Speaker, my community, is really reeling from this recent incident because many, many people have lost a loved one, and what makes it even more difficult, Mr. Speaker, is that the perpetrator, is also from a very large family in the community as well. So you have several people mourning in the community. This unprecedented scourge, Mr. Speaker, of certain deaths in the community, it has been hitting us very hard because not only have we been seeing an increase in violent deaths, but many, many, many unprecedented deaths from illnesses, Mr. Speaker, and the number of funerals I've had to attend in recent times, have really been unprecedented and taken a toll, Mr. Speaker, on the community. So I want to take this opportunity to express profound sympathies to the families. I would like to invite every member and those listening and viewing to a barbecue on Saturday, this Saturday, to raise funds for the family of the chopping incident. They're trying to raise funds to address because the main bread earner, was taken away, Mr. Speaker. On a more positive note, Mr. Speaker, I wish to congratulate. Yes, people are very distracted nowadays. That's what it is. On a more positive, Mr. Speaker, I wish to congratulate all the athletes who recently performing at the various disciplines. I recognize on Sunday we had the inter-district, inter-champs, Mr. Speaker. And, I'm very proud of what particularly the young people from Choiseul have been performing, Mr. Speaker, and they have been making their parents very, very, very proud. I look forward to their performance at upcoming Carifta, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, also on a positive note, I must say that we're very happy that after almost 2 years of negotiating and speaking to the Minister of Sports, the lights at the Lafag playing field have finally been restored, Mr. Speaker. And the residents and the players are extremely happy, to the point that we will be seeing our very first friendly match this Friday with Choiseul Craft Masters versus the Police at 8 p.m. And I also wish to extend an invitation, Mr. Speaker. The playing field, oh yes, definitely. I did install lights on the field. Yes. Thanks for that plug. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, the Lafag playing field will be the venue for 5 of the SPL T20 matches. The first of these matches is scheduled for the 25th, with the Choiseul Craft Masters going up against Soufrière Stampers. Mr. Speaker, and St. Lucia is very aware that the Choiseul Craft Masters is a very formidable team, Mr. Speaker, and I'm very certain that we will end up in the finals, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank the Choiseul Credit Union for being a dedicated sponsor to the Choiseul team, Mr. Speaker. To show how much that we were waiting on these lights to be repaired, Mr. Speaker, we actually have, starting April 5th, night Soccerama, starting at 7 p.m., Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I cannot overemphasize the amount of economic activity that these night activities, bring to the community. Several vendors come to ply their goods, Mr. Speaker. It also brings the community together and lots of engagement. So, Mr. Speaker, while it took a while coming, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy that we have finally received our lights, and we look forward to, we're in the season of Wule Laba, Mr. Speaker, and a lot of that will be happening over the coming weekends, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but while I'm at it, I also, the member for Grosile is not in the chamber, but as the Minister for Youth and Sports as well, Mr. Speaker, I also want to remind him of a promise he made to the Choiseul cricketers to provide batting nets. The players are really looking forward to that. Choiseul is well known for our prowess in cricket, Mr. Speaker. So we look forward to that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you'll also allow me, I would just like to respond to a couple of things that the member for Grosile said with regards to accusing the last administration of not doing anything as it relates to the young people of the country, Mr. Speaker. I allowed him to speak, Mr. Speaker, because I knew I would have my opportunity to respond. The member indicated from a business perspective that the last administration did nothing to help the young people. Mr. Speaker, I would speak first from the ministry that I was responsible for in the last administration, where we amended the Finance Act, Mr. Speaker. And if you allow me, Mr. Speaker, I will read a note as to the genesis of the bill that was passed at the time. And the note says, engendering a proactive approach to private sector development, this provision allows for the needed flexibility in considering future policy changes in lieu of the evolving needs of the business community. It also takes into consideration the phased approach of the National Services Policy, whereby additional services subsectors are to be incorporated. Mr. Speaker, it's no secret, Mr. Speaker, that there were only two sectors getting benefits as far as concessions were concerned, and that being the tourism sector and the agricultural sector. As a government, we saw the need, because of the times that we were in, to broaden that benefit to several areas, Mr. Speaker. And so we looked at 5 sectors, Mr. Speaker, and the member for Soufrière, who is currently the Minister of Commerce, can appreciate what has been done. Mr. Speaker, we brought a bill to Parliament to amend the Finance Act, where the 5 sectors that I will be mentioning would have been able to get duty-free concessions on items being brought in as far as it relates to their specific businesses, Mr. Speaker. The first area we looked at, Mr. Speaker, was professional services. And under that area, accounting services, management consulting services, photographic services, architectural services, engineering services, Mr. Speaker. Integrated engineering services, printing and publishing services, veterinary services, and medical and dental services. The next sector, Mr. Speaker, was the creative industries to benefit. And under that heading, people who are involved in motion picture projection service, entertainment service, sporting and other recreational services, motion picture projection and videotape production and services, Mr. Speaker. The third part, Mr. Speaker, was information and communication technology, and that area benefited telecommunication services, online information, and or data processing, including processing, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, the fourth part was spa and wellness, which included beauty and spa, physiotherapies and services provided by midwives and paramedical personnel, medical laboratories. Mr. Speaker, I could have appreciated if the member had said that the last administration started this and we capitalized on it by introducing the youth economy to ensure that several, and you broadened it, that's what I'm saying, but do not come to this house and indicate that nothing was done by the last administration, because this was a very significant amendment, Mr. Speaker, to businesses in, and if you look at the sectors, Mr. Speaker, a lot of young people, and in fact in my time, while in the ministry, I could tell you of the number of applications where people came in seeking benefits from this, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, Madam Minister for Commerce, member for Soufrière-Fonséjac, in her term, has also brought to the House, Mr. Speaker, where businesses have benefited. So to indicate, Mr. Speaker, that we have not done anything for young people, Mr. Speaker, I thought was a very unfortunate statement, Mr. Speaker. I will go to sports, Mr. Speaker. I will go to sports. Because the member also said that we did nothing for sports. Mr. Speaker, we look at infrastructure development that was done in various sporting fields across St. Lucia. In fact, I was very happy to see, the inter-island chumps for the second time in Soufrière. And Mr. Speaker, I will not repeat the unsavory things that was said about the artificial turf. We all know unfortunate statements, Mr. Speaker. But if the member from Castries South and my friend from Vieux-Fort North is saying that you're still saying, if you're saying, Mr. Speaker, that this field is dangerous to the health of young people and you are promoting so much activity, that's what you're saying. You tell me you still stand by your word, and you didn't let me finish. But I was speaking to the unfortunate comments that were made that artificial turfs, it has carcinogenic properties which are dangerous to people using them. Because I put it to the people and the people did not want it. He asked me why I put it. I have to go by the will of the people. I go to the will of the people, Mr. Speaker. But to say, Mr. Speaker, that the artificial turf is dangerous, and the fact that you are continuing to use the artificial turf, then you know what? I can say that you're creating a premeditated incident. But Mr. Speaker, I will move on. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you will note that the members have been given a lot of peace when they were making their contributions, but they are heckling me at this point, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, no, I am responding. No, but we come in there. Mr. Speaker, the member also said that there was nothing done in the last administration as far as education is concerned as well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the last administration spent an unprecedented amount of money in addressing our school infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. A significant amount of, Mr. Speaker, if you had visited the various washrooms in some of these schools, Mr. Speaker, you would not want any of your family members to sit on it, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to lay that to rest as far as what the member said. But, Mr. Speaker, it was very interesting to see and to hear the member speak to his community center in Grand Riviere, Mr. Speaker. And the member spoke to all the benefits that this community can render to the community. That there's a waiting list and people are applying for things in that community center. And it's almost 2 years, Mr. Speaker, I have 2 community centers in my community, PI and Choiseul, waiting to be opened, Mr. Speaker, that I have brought to the attention in this House. And up to a day like today, the people in the community are left to suffer because they cannot get to use the community centers, Mr. Speaker. Community centers, Mr. Speaker, that was put in place for the people in the community, Mr. Speaker.
You shame? Huh? You want to talk about shame?
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
you could have fixed it, you were there.
I will move now
Why didn't you fix it?
to the budget.
4 years to fix it? And it was so important, 4 years.
Mr. Speaker,
He said $200,000. 4 years you wanted to fix it? Huh? 4 years? Oh, but he was there and he didn't fix it.
Mr. Speaker,
It burned down before he left
my
office.
good friend is coming in a little late.
It burned down before he left office.
Mr. Speaker,
He didn't burn down.
budget time is a marker when we come to the House, and we are also reminded of the people who put us to represent them in the Parliament, Mr. Speaker.
Shaking in my boots.
And Mr. Speaker, it is a time, Mr. Speaker, to thank the people of Choiseul Saltibus for putting their trust and confidence in me, Mr. Speaker, for representing them. And I'm very assured, Mr. Speaker, that whenever elections is called, they will put me back in the House to represent them again, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a student of literature, Mr. Speaker, and as one who has delved in theater, Mr. Speaker, I often reminisce on several poetic sayings, Mr. Speaker. And one of them, Mr. Speaker, that I remember very clearly. You see, Mr. Speaker,
Member for Grosley, I would
good at
point you
heckling.
to Standing Order 32.5, where as the Minister for Sport, you're allowed to speak again if the member states any matter relating to your ministry. So so please allow the member to proceed. Please allow the member to proceed.
He was absent, Mr. Speaker. He was
Well,
absent.
there is a television downstairs
I had no
for
idea
precisely.
where he was, Mr. Speaker. You're guiding him for something that he's not aware of, Mr. Speaker. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, I was saying, Mr. Speaker, as a student of literature, Mr. Speaker, and one who has delved in the realm of theater, there are many quotes that come to mind often, Mr. Speaker. And the one that has come to mind today, Mr. Speaker, is the one from William Shakespeare, from his play As You Like It. And he says, all the world is a stage, and the men and women are merely players. And so, Mr. Speaker, in this House, we see lots of theatrics. We see lots of people speaking loud, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, is what the people feel on the ground, Mr. Speaker. At the end of the day, is what the people feel on the ground. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming to the budget, Mr. Speaker, but I just want to express my concern, Mr. Speaker. When I read your note, when you sent a note with regards to the estimates, and also the note from the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, regarding the new model. And Mr. Speaker, I must say I was a little bit concerned because I truly feel that the opposition should have been invited to a session at least to guide us on the new model and how the changes may affect the output for clarification, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I just thought I should put that out there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as indicated in the budget, Mr. Speaker, as indicated in the budget summary, Mr. Speaker, on on Roman numeral 5, Mr. Speaker, page 5. And also, as highlighted by the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, a surplus budget has been recorded. The question, Mr. Speaker, that I would like to ask today, Mr. Speaker, is at what cost to the people of St. Lucia are we experiencing a surplus budget? At what cost to the people of St. Lucia are we experiencing a surplus budget? And Mr. Speaker, you may ask me, but why am I saying this, Mr. Speaker? And so I ask you to give me leave to explain why I'm saying that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister, on many occasions in this House, has indicated that the high prices being faced is as a result of imported inflation. And yes, Mr. Speaker, I will agree to a certain extent that there is some imported inflation, Mr. Speaker. But I also believe, Mr. Speaker, that homegrown inflation is the biggest culprit. What do I mean by homegrown inflation, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, you will note that again, Mr. Speaker, in the budget summary, we saw significant increases, Mr. Speaker, in our tax revenue. What could have caused such increases, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, I will first want to address maybe one of the biggest earners of duties for the government of St. Lucia, and that is the Customs and Excise Department. So, Mr. Speaker, when goods are imported, we all know that duties are applied. And, Mr. Speaker, I'm not speaking to this House because this House is very familiar, but through you, I would like to speak to the wider public of St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, duties are imposed based on CIF prices, and CIF means the costs, insurance, and freight. So, Mr. Speaker, whenever something is bought overseas, the cost of the good, whatever insurance to ensure that your goods, if it does not reach St. Lucia safely, that you have some sort of reimbursement, and the cost of shipping the goods, Mr. Speaker, are factors involved in customs calculating the duties. In addition, Mr. Speaker, to the health and security levy that has been imposed by this administration, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, when I speak to homegrown inflation, you will recall, Mr. Speaker, that there was a point in time when, and the Minister for Commerce have alluded to it on several occasions, where the cost of shipping has gone up astronomically, exceedingly high, Mr. Speaker. And when these goods come into St. Lucia, what customs would do, obviously, would charge you based on whatever the shipping cost was. That's the manifesto in front of them to address, Mr. Speaker. And you will recall, Mr. Speaker, that we came into this House and we urged the Prime Minister to follow the model of what was being done in Barbados and elsewhere, where shipping was capped at a certain rate and the Customs and Excise Department were then calculating the tariffs based on that cap rate. So if shipping, for example, Mr. Speaker, today was $2,000 and tomorrow was $6,000, Mr. Speaker, what we are saying, Mr. Speaker, is you can cap it at $3,000 because there is no, government is not losing, you know, Mr. Speaker. Government is not losing because if you look, Mr. Speaker, government has continued to make excessive income from the taxes charged at the port, in addition to the health and security levy that is being charged, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, on a side note, I think it's necessary that we mention it in the House, Mr. Speaker, that I mention it in the House. Because we know Mr. Trump has made certain pronouncements. Mr. Trump has made certain pronouncements as it relates to targeting shipping lines out of the USA and making them pay some serious tariffs if they come in through the USA, Mr. Speaker. So that can only mean, Mr. Speaker, that there's a possibility of when these ships come into St. Lucia, that shipping in that CIF will be very significant and will affect the taxes that are being charged by customs, Mr. Speaker. So I want to urge the Prime Minister to very early, and the member from Ancillary Canneries, who I know crunches the figures all the time for him, I want to urge him very, to look at capping, Mr. Speaker, capping the shipping very early, and to make a statement on that, Mr. Speaker, because only today I read a statement from Tropical Shipping, and Tropical Shipping said that they transport more than half of the goods that come to the Caribbean, and Tropical Shipping is not a U.S. original agency, Mr. Speaker. So it can only mean that we are expected to see significant hikes in the cost of importing goods, Mr. Speaker. Already, we are hearing the consumers as it relates to the high cost of living, and we better brace ourselves, Mr. Speaker. We better brace ourselves, Mr. Speaker. And I applaud the member for making the statement, I love St. Lucia. We need to go local in many ways. We need to do that, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to drill that point home as it relates to how a lot of the high cost of living and the inflation is homegrown, because we could have taken some preemptive measures to reduce, and, Mr. Speaker, to reduce the high cost of taxes that are being paid by St. Lucians, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other area I will touch on as it relates to homegrown inflation, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of fuel. The issue of fuel, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you will recall, Mr. Speaker, that the last administration had capped fuel at $13.95. Despite, Mr. Speaker, fuel on the world market, a barrel was $74.95 at the time in 2019. Now, Mr. Speaker, fuel on the world market is less than $70. And what do we have? We have a price of $16.95, Mr. Speaker. In fact, today, Mr. Speaker, when I check the price of a barrel, it's $69.20. Now, I do not know, since we left office, whether there's been any negotiation with the fuel dealers or Buckeye or where the people who bring up fuel as to increase their commissions. I don't know. But if that has not happened, Mr. Speaker, it means that the government is making significant revenue with the difference of what they purchase fuel on the world market and how it's being sold at the pumps, Mr. Speaker. And you know what happens when that happens, Mr. Speaker, when I speak about homegrown inflation? The domino effect. Spiraling effect. Because, Mr. Speaker, you see, Mr. Speaker, what's going to happen? You've seen the bakers have said to you, because of the high cost of everything, they had to increase the cost of bread. Yes, there's a subsidy in place, and that's the wise decisions that governments have to make. We've seen the transport sector also clamoring, and they have gotten it, an increase in transport, Mr. Speaker, because of the high cost of fuel, and they have gotten it, Mr. Speaker. What happened, Mr. Speaker? When you have a high cost of fuel, it affects production costs, delivery costs, packaging costs, Mr. Speaker. It affects everything across the line, Mr. Speaker. And when that happens, Mr. Speaker, and it compounded, because each of these areas I have mentioned there, in terms of production, delivery, transport, packaging, each of these carry the H&S levy, Mr. Speaker, the health and security levy. So at the end of the day, what reaches the consumer is a much inflated price, Mr. Speaker. And we have to look at this thing and be real, Mr. Speaker. We have to be real when it comes to that. I urge the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister has campaigned on putting people first. And Mr. Speaker, it's like, yes, there have been, and we have to admit it, there have been lots of social programs. There are lots of social programs, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, it's like you give with one hand and you take in with two. That's what happens. That's what happens when it comes to the whole issue of taxes, Mr. Speaker. So we have to be mindful of that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't come and TMT if anybody, you know. I don't come and TMT if nobody, you know, Mr. Speaker. I come and speak, Mr. Speaker, on the realities that affect us as St. Lucians and what I hear on the ground. Mr. Speaker, on the ground, you hear the people. On n'est pas marché, pas mauvais. That's a fact, Mr. Speaker. That's a fact, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, it is unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, because what is happening is that the good citizens of this country are the ones paying. And I see there's opportunities, Mr. Speaker, for the Prime Minister to make lawbreakers pay. And what I mean by that, Mr. Speaker, every day you see it, Mr. Speaker. I was in my colleague's community only over the weekend. He's my colleague. And he has a beautiful place off the coast of Poilin. Beautiful place. I'm not sure how many of us have gone there. In fact, for the first time I saw the whip-tailed lizard, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, what disappointed me in such a beautiful place was the amount of litter that I saw. The amount of litter. And it is time, I have spoken about it. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I asked your permission some time ago whether I could have used the word salopte in the House. Because I was speaking to the amount of garbage that I see all over the place. And it is time that we start a special force, Mr. Speaker, to charge people who do these things. We boast beautiful beaches, Mr. Speaker. We boast our sceneries, Mr. Speaker. Okay? And yet still, people feel they can come and leave it for somebody else, Mr. Speaker. We have to start addressing this thing as a mature society. We are a growing society. Because if we don't do that, Mr. Speaker, pretty soon, people will tell us we have a dirty community, a dirty society. We have to start it, Mr. Speaker. Okay? So, Mr. Speaker, I also speak, Mr. Speaker, every day on the road. You're driving behind trucks that are supposed to have tarpaulins holding down material, Mr. Speaker. Lawbreakers. We need to start charging them, Mr. Speaker, and let's stop thinking about the political repercussions. You see, Mr. Speaker, I was having a conversation with the member for Sufra this morning, and I told the member that there are some serious conversations we need to have as a society and take away the political connotations from it. Take away the political connotations, because it is about time, Mr. Speaker, we start making people... Mr. Speaker, the number of motorbikes that pass us without helmet. Sometimes the police, right there, you know, Mr. Speaker, the number of them that pass us, Mr. Speaker, we need to start charging. I heard that there was an issue of an impound. That's very good. And make sure, Mr. Speaker, now, I may lose some votes for that statement, but that's all right. That's all right, because it is necessary, Mr. Speaker. It is necessary for us to start making the lawbreakers pay rather than the people who every day go about building our society, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the member for Grosley. The member for Grosley spoke about what his administration has done for the police, Mr. Speaker. And he spoke about, Mr. Speaker, that under the last administration, how police morale was at such a low. And we know the important role that the policemen and women play in our society, Mr. Speaker. The important role, Mr. Speaker. And what I'm saying is, we all recognize the role. And it's not just about giving them vehicles. He said Rosalie has how many? 11 vehicles or 17 vehicles now? Okay? Mr. Speaker, recognizing the important role that our police men and women do in society. Why are we dragging the negotiations for so long, Mr. Speaker? Why are we dragging the negotiations for so long, Mr. Speaker? We boast surplus. Let's meet the policemen halfway, Mr. Speaker. Let's deal with that, Mr. Speaker. If you want to boost morality.
Security. So important.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, many of my former colleagues, Mr. Speaker, in making their contribution, you know, at one point I thought we were already in the policy debate, Mr. Speaker. So, but I will leave a lot of what I want to say for the policy debate, Mr. Speaker. But there are a couple of things, Mr. Speaker, I would like to clarify, Mr. Speaker. The member for Castries Southeast, that's you, yeah, Castries Southeast, Mr. Speaker. Under head 0577, you spoke about a new initiative which is called Infrastructure Development Program, right? Infrastructure Development Program. I would really like to hear a little bit more about that because I see an allocation of $5 million. Is that concrete and steel? Or plywood or whatever you want to call it? Yeah? Is that what it's? No, through you, Mr. Speaker, I'm asking the member, you can answer me, you know. You can answer me, Mr. Speaker. Infrastructure, okay. You see, because I was curious, Mr. Speaker, because I recognize you have a $5 million there for infrastructure. But yet still, Mr. Speaker, I note the housing ministry, Mr. Speaker. The housing ministry, I note that, and I was wondering, Mr. Speaker, whether you had taken over the NHAP, National Housing Assistance Program. But when I went in, I noticed there was still an amount, head 48 housing, Mr. Speaker, which speaks to an amount of 1.789, 100, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, on that page 627, I note program performance information as it relates to housing, Mr. Speaker. And I note, Mr. Speaker, under the 24-25 program strategies, Mr. Speaker, point number 5, it says continuation of housing support to vulnerable and indigent persons under the National Housing Program, NHAP. And across it, achievement and progress, it says a total of 231 beneficiaries have received assistance through the National Housing Assistance Program, NHAP, which I interpret, Mr. Speaker, that there was housing assistance provided in 24-25, Mr. Speaker. And I will say it, Mr. Speaker, the last time any housing assistance was given to the parliamentary rep for Choiseul Saltibus was in June 2023, Mr. Speaker. I did not get anything last year, Mr. Speaker, so you see, Mr. Speaker, when we speak about putting people first, we must, no, I will come to that. Mr. Speaker, when we speak to putting the people first, because people who come to my constituency office, Mr. Speaker, I don't ask them where they vote, you know, Mr. Speaker. I don't ask them where they vote, come to, Mr. Speaker. People come with various requests, Mr. Speaker, based on the urgency, based on their own vulnerability, Mr. Speaker. As small as what I get, Mr. Speaker, I send something to SSDF, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to speak to that for a minute, Mr. Speaker, because quite a few speakers before me spoke on the CDP program. And, Mr. Speaker, no, address what I have said. What I have said, not what somebody else said. Not what somebody else said, okay? Mr. Speaker, under the last administration, I remember member for Beaufort North, member for Laborie, member for Denry North, and my good friend from Castries South, and to a certain extent, the current Prime Minister The member for Beaufort South was pretty much silent on it. But on every occasion that they got the opportunity, Mr. Speaker, it was damn licks, Mr. Speaker. They're not getting anything. They're not getting anything. They're not getting anything. So, Mr. Speaker, you would think, recognizing that that was a grave injustice, Mr. Speaker, they would come into office. They would come into office and they would say, boy, you know what? We come on the horse of goodwill. You know? We are a good government, a government for the people. We will come and we will ensure. But Mr. Speaker, when the Prime Minister authorizes $100,000 to one of the largest constituencies in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker, okay? And he gives you $100,000 every 3 months, Mr. Speaker. You know what that is, Mr. Speaker? It's like he gave me a sword and he pulled the sword and he cut my hand. Because I'm bleeding, Mr. Speaker. Now I question whether, boy, that is a political maverick at play, because he knows the pressure will come under. You know? So is that what he was doing, Mr. Speaker? Because under that $100,000, under that every quarter. But under that 100, listen to me. No, I want to give me time. But that's the point, member, that I am saying. The opposition at the time called hell and damnation on what they considered unfair, you know, they did it. So it cannot be wrong when you're in opposition and now you want to say it right. It can't be wrong. So, Mr. Speaker, anyway, Mr. Speaker, so they gave me $100,000. Out of that $100,000, $20,000, listen to me, please. $20,000, Mr. Speaker. One thing, you know, you're a very good defense lawyer, but I'm not sure the politician is. You're a very good defense lawyer. But, Mr. Speaker, so out of that $100,000, $20,000 goes into social programs, Mr. Speaker. So, medical, medical, Mr. Speaker, school, which is education, Mr. Speaker, various activities in the community, burials, Mr. Speaker. I just told you the number of the burials I have been in the communities, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I have a very long list of people who want help, Mr. Speaker. And you know what they're saying? When they meet members opposite are saying, may Bradley Cashman enlarge. Bradley Cashman enlarge. So they put in the member for Choiseul Saltibus under some pressure, Mr. Speaker, because people are under the impression that the same 22 roads that the member for Grocery say he's doing, that I get in that same kind of money, Mr. Speaker. So that's why I say the member give me a sword and he pull it, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker.
Why didn't you speak out against it then?
You know, Mr. Speaker.
Speak out against it before. Why did you speak out against it before?
The other issue I have, Mr. Speaker, as it relates to the CDP program, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Who could ever stop you from talking?
The other thing that the members at the time, Mr. Speaker, at the time the members opposite said that there's so many things happening in our community with no consultation with the parliament. In fact, you see what I do in there? I was in theater, so I'll actually mock the member of the... No consultation! That was the member, current Prime Minister. No consult. In fact, you had them Belrose doctrine, Mr. Speaker. I tell you, the Belrose doctrine, if there is something called Belrose doctrine, is so alive, Mr. Speaker, in my community. There is so much happening in my community. But, and I'm coming to that, I applaud people from sectors who ensure that they involve the parliamentary rep. But there's a big majority, Mr. Speaker, who bypass the parliamentary rep. And I only seen it when I pass things that are happening, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me give you a story. Let me give you a story, which is a very shameful story, Mr. Speaker. A very shameful story.
Member for Choiseul, allow me to consult with you to tell you You have 15 minutes left.
Thank you, sir. I will finish before that time. Thank you. A very shameful story, Mr. Speaker. There are so many people here boasting about jazz in their community, Mr. Speaker. I applaud that. I applaud that. We expand the jazz. We expand the jazz to the communities, outer communities. Beautiful, Mr. Speaker. I applaud that, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I am called as a parliamentary rep, and I'm asked to be at a meeting where we want to discuss Choiseul jazz. I know of course, Mr. Speaker, the Zoom meeting. And Mr. Speaker, a wannabe parliamentary rep comes on that Zoom, recognizing Flex, that's the name on my phone, on the Zoom, and the person would indicate, what is Flex doing in my meeting? Distasteful, Mr. Speaker. Distasteful. A wannabe parliamentarian. What is Flex doing in my meeting? To the point where people at the meeting were so upset, they left. They left, Mr. Speaker. And I saw that as a brilliant opportunity to bring everybody together, Mr. Speaker. Everybody together. That's you. You know, that's the kind of thing that's happening, Mr. Speaker. We have to condemn that kind of thing. Because going forward, Mr. Speaker, and you will recall, Mr. Speaker, that same individual, when I won the election, the following day she was with a loudspeaker saying, Bradley is powerless, even if you'll vote him in. That leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. Which part? For a loudspeaker? But weren't you the one who asked her to draw the statement? To withdraw it? You asked her to withdraw it, and she went online and she withdrew it. Now, Mr. Speaker, you've given me I've had the best junior Creole in Choiseul. The best. Mr. Speaker, I speak to my former colleague, the member for Castries North, Minister of Infrastructure. I wish to speak to my former colleague, the member for Castries North. Not Gayabwa. Choiseul in its entirety. Because I noticed line, Mr. Speaker, for you, line 0028, Choiseul Roads Rehabilitation. 000000000. That's an old program? So I can say that's a draft. 252600. 252600. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I notice you have significant funds under potholing, and so I'm hoping, even if that we get, and it's that we can get, we'll take it. But, Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, 320. No, 20 in social programs. So, Mr. Speaker, when you have $80,000 every quarter to do something in Choiseul, you know that can even be a drain for you.
When you have zero, people succeed with that.
Mr. Speaker, I'll move on, Mr. Speaker. Okay. Mr. Speaker, under land acquisition, the Prime Minister spoke about settling, I think you said 40 million in land acquisition, and we have to recognize how these things have been long outstanding, Mr. Speaker. But in my time, Mr. Speaker, I acquired 4 pieces of land in Choiseul for public use. One in La Pointe, one in Delsay, one in Newfield, and one in Monsieur, Mr. Speaker, for various public use, Mr. Speaker. And I must lament the fact that they're just there, and I would really want the necessary, attention paid to it for the people, Mr. Speaker. It's not for Brad, it's for the people. Because you see, Mr. Speaker, when you attack the member for Choiseul Saltibus, or when you try to deny the member for Choiseul Saltibus, you know what that does? you just give the member for Choiseul Saltibus a lot more strength and resilience. Okay? And I can tell you, the only time this member for Choiseul Saltibus will not be in this house is when he decides to step down. Okay? When, you know why, Mr. Speaker? You know why, Mr. Speaker? You know why? This member for Choiseul Saltibus is not no great pretender. And I've said it before. What you see is what you get. I am real as it comes, Mr. Speaker. I don't tell you one thing to your face because I want your vote, and at the end of the day, something else, Mr. Speaker. That's what it is, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just give me, I think I only need 5 more minutes. I want to speak to the member for Beaufort North, Minister for Health, with regards to...
You have more than 5.
I do. Okay, thank you. The member for Beaufort North, the issue with Comfort Bay. I remember at a presentation in the House, the member said that the situation was so bad at St. Jude's, where people kind of disown their family members, and you all had to move them to Comfort Bay. So it suggests to me that Comfort Bay had some space. You said people at St. Jude's who were not coming and check on their family members, you had to move them to Comfort Bay. Okay. Not exactly that. Okay. But so, Mr. Speaker, I find that, you know, we have a lot of residents, you know, in the community of Choiseul Saltibus. We have a great population of senior citizens, and senior citizens who do not have people to really look after them. In many cases, it's neighbors, you know, the good heart of neighbors, Mr. Speaker. But I find getting into Comfort Bay is very elusive, through you, Mr. Speaker, to the Mayor. It's very, very elusive. And if it's one of the things I think governments should do, Mr. Speaker, is to provide additional space for senior citizens, Mr. Speaker. Because they have, remember, Mr. Speaker, the senior citizens of today are those who grew up under tremendous pressure, Mr. Speaker. They didn't have the means to make a comfortable life today. And as a result of that, many of them are living in some very, very unsafe conditions, Mr. Speaker. You see it and you turn around because you want to cry, Mr. Speaker. And I think the state needs to really put in the resources, Mr. Speaker, to take in many of these people, rehabilitate them, Mr. Speaker. And so, you know, that kind of, we have to look at that, Mr. Speaker. I know Choiseul Saltibus have been clamoring for some more nice employees. That has not happened, Mr. Speaker. And I would really, you know, want to see, you know, some consideration being given to that, Mr. Speaker. The members think I'm asking for too much. I represent a community, and I'm asking what they asked me to ask, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, with that being said, Mr. Speaker, 3 more questions, if you'll allow me. Just 3 more. We've been hearing a lot about the whole issue of Wasco and the plant and the deterioration of the plant, but I'm not sure where it is, and maybe the minister, when he's making his presentation, could highlight to me what sort of assistance is being given to Wasco as it relates to, you know, upgrading and ensuring that our water supply is more reliable and safe, Mr. Speaker. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I have a lot more to say, but it will be more applicable under the policy debate, Mr. Speaker. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for members, regardless of the heckling, you know. But I think my point was heard by the people that I represent. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.